They're better without him. They score more goals without him, and they win more points without him. That's a fact. He's coming to the end of his career. Manchester United are a better team without him, Roy. He's just got to get used to that or leave.
That's fine.
But Danny, is that it? Is that him as far as the world stage is concerned? Goodbye.
I'd be very, very surprised if it's not.
It's time for Portugal to move forward. They've seen the best of him. They've had the best of him. It's not going to get any better. He's not going to reach those heights again.
No one's not a huge fan of Ronaldo or Messi. Ronaldo is not the greatest player of all time.
As an avid watcher of football, I wanted to talk about the recent harsh and heavy media criticism of Cristiano Ronaldo and why the issue is actually a much bigger one than you may realise. As you may or may not know, Cristiano is a professional football player, arguably one of the best of all time and by far the most lucrative. His Instagram account boasts an impressive follower count of 500 million people. That's a lot. This goes to show his popularity not just on the field, but off the field as well, and it nets him consistent business deals with massive corporations, making him one of the richest sportsmen in the world. Cristiano is now 37, which is considered quite old in the footballing world, but he has still been able to play at the highest of levels. In fact, until last season, he was putting up incredible numbers, leading a relatively poor Manchester United side as their top scorer. However, even as a Cristiano fan, I can admit that this season, the level of his performance has drastically declined. But it's understandable. He isn't the young, explosive player that he once was. This poor form that he has been in culminated in the premature exit of Portugal in the quarterfinals in the 2022 World Cup. So, due to such a large hero in the footballing world falling to such lows, what has become the trend in the reportage space as of late? Big players like Cristiano have always faced some level of criticism, because naturally, they are expected to consistently perform at an incredibly high level. This was fine when he could silence the haters back in the day, but now that his abilities have deteriorated, the criticism has reached its climax. It seems that all they talk about in sports news nowadays is how bad his recent performances have been. You see media pages on Instagram such as Sports Bible and ESPN FC constantly posting content that is critical of Cristiano, and massive arguments ensuing in the comment sections, usually between people defending him and people agreeing with the criticism. This is the very reason why they write about Ronaldo on all the news sites, and all the ex-football players turned pundits can't keep his name out of their mouth. Talking shit about him gets the views, it gets the clicks, and it gets people opinionated. Journalism in this day and age isn't meant to educate or inform. News reports are quite often completely irrelevant, useless, and unhelpful to the average person. Does any of the Ronaldo news fundamentally change anything about your daily life? Not really. The main purpose is to incite emotion and get people to form strong, extreme ideologies, which then gets the two opposite ends arguing. Controversy is the new best thing for these media companies. The more people that hold opposing views to one another, the more interactions a post gets, and therefore the more money these companies make. Don't forget, journalism is a business. They're not reporting a constant, unchanging rhetoric. They're posting what turns people's heads. This is a question for my audience. Which of the following articles would you be more inclined to click on? Brave man saves baby in burning house? Or baby narrowly escapes death in massive house fire? If you were scrolling around on a news site, the second one would probably more effectively capture your attention. We humans love the morbid, the dark. We love seeing bad things happen because there's a natural primal instinct that causes a great reaction within us when we see bad things happen to people. It's simply human nature, and these media pages exploit this. Also, the very people that condemn these pages for regularly posting disparaging content regarding Cristiano are the very people that get these pages the interaction they're looking for. These articles and pages are specifically made for this reaction. Contrary to popular belief, these journalists don't care if there is an overwhelmingly negative reaction towards their content, because as long as there is a reaction, and as long as people are talking about the subject, they're fulfilling their daily quotas. For them, all publicity is good publicity. It's sort of a paradox in a way, but journalism has always been like this. That's why when you read a news report, you rarely learn anything that can benefit you in your life. You're just reeled in by a very declarative and radical title, and by the time you realize what you're reading is basically mindless, recyclable garbage, you've already given the journalists what they've wanted: your attention. Overall, what I'm simply saying is that this Ronaldo situation has little to do with football and is the manifestation of an exceedingly larger issue. It's more to do with how journalism operates as a whole, reporting on the trendy, not on the important. Now, there is nothing more to be said. Essentially, the biggest news is past us. These media companies will surely move to the next big trend, because I believe that this well is starting to dry up. Cristiano's controversial relationship with Manchester United has come to an end, climaxing in him and the club parting ways. His World Cup dreams are over, and the reports on this are already beginning to become oversaturated. He may be talked about for a bit longer, depending on what club and league he moves to in 2023. But other than that, I think that the hate on Cristiano agenda is coming to an end, simply because to all these smooth-brained journalists, his existence as a scapegoat has outlived its usefulness. He can no longer provide them with the noise that he once did, and they will quickly flock like seagulls to the next big controversy. They will unforgivingly find, and then in quick succession, exploit the next big thing that will inevitably cause people to insult and bark at each other on the Facebook and YouTube comment sections. The berating of Cristiano has little to do with Cristiano himself, and even football as a whole. The issue at hand is greatly more significant. It's the exemplification of a world where what's popular is more important than what's real, because recyclable buzzwords and brain-dead quarrels sell better than actual informative converse.